Hi, I'm Debbie from Simply Special Craft. Today we're going to do the long-awaited Paws for Thought issue 2. Thanks. This is the Paws for Thought luxury card kit. This kit includes 8 topper sets. When I say topper set, I mean a die-cut, foiled and die-cut sheet that has pop-out images that you use as the focal point on your card. And then each topper set includes 2 pieces of cardstock that match the topper set. One is foiled and one is printed to look like the images in the topper set. So you get 8 sets, plus in this kit you get 2 different project kits. Now in video 1 we did the first 4 topper sets and we did one of the projects. Today we're going to do the second 4 and the other project, as well as taking a look at some cards completed using the little book of Paws for Thought. So we've got a lot to get through. Let's get right to it. As usual, I'm going to take you through a quick review of some of the materials we've used. In addition to the luxury kit, we use the Paws for Thought luxury inserts. These are sold separately. I recommend the inserts because with the insert packs you get this beautiful imagery that's been printed to match the topper sets exactly, and that way you can line your cards with a complementary image. It's really pretty. So we've got the inserts. There's a wonderful Paws for Thought luxury paper pad. Mine's well used, and I've got little bits of paper trying to find its way out of my book, but let me see if I can quickly flip through some of the pages for you so that you can see what you get in this. It's double-sided papers, and they all have kind of a vintage feel to them. Now, my book is very well used at this point, so what you see is not necessarily representative of what you're going to get, because you start with a number of pages. I think you get 4 or 6. You get 4 each of 12 different double-sided prints, but you'll see how we've used those throughout the kit here. There's a Paws for Thought Adorable Scoreable selection. Now, it's not essential that you get this, but if you can see your way clear to get this, the colors in this Adorable Scoreable cardstock set exactly match the color scheme from Paws for Thought. So it's a nice thing to have, not a must-do. You can certainly use Adorable Scoreable that you have left over from other sets, but if you don't have it, this is a great material to have available. You're going to see a lot that I've done with the Paws for Thought little book. This uses the same imagery that you see, again, my book is very well used, the same imagery that you see in the Paws for Thought card kit. This is printed on lighter weight paper. You get 6 each of 24 different designs. 22 of those are cat images, and 2 of them are cutout tags, which was really nice to have when I was putting those cards together. So I'll show you some samples done with these as well. And you can see I've hardly made a dent in mine. Wait till you see how many cards I made. I used my Hunkydory foam squares. I always have these available when I'm working on a kit. These happen to be the 5x5x2s, which I think is probably the foam squares that I use the most often. In addition to the Hunkydory materials, I used a variety of cutting dies on my cards. Now, again, these are strictly optional. What I'd like for you to do is take a look at your collections and see what else you have that might accomplish the same thing. Certainly, if you want them, we have these dies available, but don't feel as if you have to purchase all the supplemental materials I'm using. I'm using those to show you how you might bring your own materials in. So this first die is a floral lattice from Ultimate Crafts. Next, we use the card deco dies. Now I do love these because you can cut a card base out of your Adorable Scoreable, that nice heavy duty 350 GSM cardstock. It cuts through like butter. And not only does it cut my card out, it actually scores my card so that all I have to do is fold it and go. If I want to line that card, I can put my liner in and cut my liner the same way so that it matches up exactly with my cut design. These are a lot of fun to have. Brittany made one of her cards using a center stepper card from this set by Tattered Lace Dies, and I'll show you what we came up with there. It's a little bit smaller than the center step card that we use from Hot Off the Press, but it's certainly a really nice size. So once again, we have these available if you're interested. I used another tattered lace die that you've seen in a couple of videos lately. This is the Georgette set. I love this one because you get 3 of these different ornamental squares, and then you get a huge variety of layering pieces so that you can choose to layer inside of your designs or outside of your designs. It's very affordably priced for the number of dies that you get in this set, and you can't beat tattered lace quality. So once again, we have that Georgette lace square available in the store. This last one won't be available for long. This is from Diversions. I believe that they have now retired this die. They're retiring most Diversions dies these days, but we got some great results using this leafy frame panel. So this is a terrific one. It's useful for anything you want to have kind of that vintage feel, or floral cards. Lots of different uses for this die. And as you can see, it's really generously sized, so it's perfectly sized for card making. We used a variety of stickers. Again, look at what you have on hand and try and see how you can use some of the things that you already have available. Many of you will have this sheet right here by Sticker King. This is the what is this called? This is called the Flourishes, Gold Flourishes by Sticker King. And I happen to have sent out hundreds and hundreds of these at Christmas time as a free gift to our customers with your orders. So if you look at your stash, you just might have this if you're a regular Simply Special customer. And if you're not, I have one available for you too. Just go ahead and purchase a Sticker King's Flourishes. We used the Romantique stickers. Brittany and I had used this on one of our prior videos. We had it here on our card making table, and we found some of these borders and things to be especially helpful in these Paws for Thought cards. You wouldn't think about doing a romantic set with the kitties, but because of the vintage kind of feel, these roses and borders had a real nice place in our card making, which just happens to be these 2 sheets. You get 2 colors in that one pack, which is fun. I love having jewel dazzles available, and it's not at all unusual for us to put little jewel dazzles here and there on our cards. You can see they're just these little holographic circles, and they're just fun and easy to use, and they add that extra little bit of sparkle to things. This is a very, very well-used sheet. This happened to have been the Hot Off the Press Gold Butterfly Dazzles, 1837. We used this fun Black Kitties Dazzle, and that's sticker number 2506. And another very, very well-used sticker sheet. This was 2570, the cat in the window. You can see we peeled almost every sticker off that sheet because we loved this one for this card set. And finally, I used some velveteen paper. Okay. And finally, I used some velveteen paper on one of these cards. This is a soft, wonderful, very plush paper that has the look and feel of velveteen. It's wonderful. You can get velour papers, but this is the rich, deep, beautiful stuff here. And we have that available in the store. Okay, let's get right into our projecting. The first pieces I want to show you are the pieces that we have for the Notelet set. I want you to set these aside before you get into your card making because we don't want to use those on accident for something else. You want to have them available to make this wonderful little Notelet set. Your ribbon will be a different color. As I was working on my kit, I misplaced my ribbon, so I just tied it with the piece I had here. Let me talk to you briefly about how you put this set together. This is actually really, really easily constructed, although you get a beautiful finished result. It's very, very easy to put together. You're going to use this piece, which is your cover, and it's scored in 2 places. We'll simply fold that. These are the pockets, and you can see the score lines here. You're going to fold those pockets down and create these wonderful little, let me take my cards out for a moment. You're going to create these wonderful little pockets. And you're going to make, there's 2 sizes of pockets here. You'll fold your score lines down, create a little box, and glue or super tape that first box right to the bottom of that cover sheet. Then fold your second box, glue it or tape it right on top of the first. As you're taping that first box, cut your ribbon and put 1 piece between your box and your card base or your cover, and just let it glue right in there, which I just pulled mine loose. Then I will glue it right back in. Get my little glue bottle out here. I got interrupted while I was working on it. Darn it, I had to eat dinner. And I probably didn't get it into my glue fast enough. So I'm just going to put some glue down in there. And I'll get my glued end. I want it to be roughly even with my other side. And I'm just going to glue that piece in there right between my cover and my pocket there, roughly even with the other side. And then once your pockets are dry, you can go ahead and put your cards in, right into the little pockets. Oh, I didn't talk about this. We should talk about this. These cards come flat. They look just like this. You'll just use your scoring tool, whatever you use. I happen to have used a Hunkydory scoreboard, and you'll score right along this line. Fold them, and right on your pocket sheet here, you have a variety of little sentiments. So there's 7 sentiments. There's 8 cards in total. Either save one from one of your other card sheets, or just choose one set not to have one. And you'll just fold and put those right into your pocket with their, see, this is the one I chose not to have one. Then you can just load your cards right into the front pocket. Load the included envelopes right into the back pocket. This set makes 7 notelets, excuse me, 8 notelets. And it includes 8 envelopes plus all the components to make the really pretty little organizer. Once you get the greetings on there, you have to be kind of careful sliding them in because they'll hang up on one another. It's nice to put them all together and put them all in at one time. But anyway, when you get everything in, tie it off nicely with a pretty bow in the front, and you have a very giftable little collection of cards. They'll either be fun to use or fun to give as a gift. So that's the Notelet set. Let's move on and take a look at some of our other. Okay, the first set we're going to take a look at today, first topper set, is the Cat's Whiskers. Now this is the topper set. We have this absolutely adorable kitten scene with the yarn. And I love this kind of almost peacock paper in the background. You got the pretty yarn border. You've got best wishes for a wonderful day, happy birthday, wishing you a possum day. You're the Cat's Whiskers, wishing you a wonderful birthday. Just a note to say, cute little accents. Don't throw these edge pieces away until you're all done making your cards, because sometimes these can be really helpful, and this has some really good ones. So keep those until you're done. We've got this piece. Here's our foiled matching adorable scoreable. You can see that beautiful foil line in 2 places there. There's our little image repeated. This kitten's got the thread instead of the yarn. Let's see what we did with them. Okay. Here is the little kitten with the yarn from the corner. I've cut this down. I've taken a 4x6 card, roughly. This is a European A6, which is like 4 1/4 by 5 7/8 if we're measuring. I covered it with a piece of gold mirror board. I cut this little piece right here, slightly smaller so that I'd have a border of my mirror board around it. And I added stickers that said, "You make me smile." I liked it just like that, didn't do anything else to it. I just thought it was cute. Excuse me? Oh, good point. There's the liner with the matching insert paper. Okay, next up, there's those adorable kittens with the yarn. I've taken a 5x7 card. I covered it in a piece of blue paper out of my my A4 papers, Paws for Thought papers book that I showed you in the beginning. They had this nice deep blue that I thought was real complimentary to the light blues in the kittens. I covered it. I put a little border sticker here, a little border sticker here, and then 4 flourish stickers off of that Sticker King sheet. That was a 3-part frame set, so I popped it into 3 pieces. I put foam squares behind my outer frame. I glued this center frame down flush to my card, and I put this up on some foam squares. And didn't that turn out just wonderfully? With a minimum of effort, we got really a great result, I think. Inside, I lined it with my complimentary insert paper. And then I still had some greetings and things left. And since I had not put a greeting on the outside, I put "Wishing you a wonderful birthday with love" on the inside and one of those little complimentary images on the inside. Here is the piece off the other piece of cardstock. And I've taken that and I took one of my European A6 cards, the 4 1/4 by 5 7/8. I won't keep repeating that. Almost all the cards I did in this set are European A6. We have those available in the store, and 5x7 cards. So I'll just tell you that I use the 5x7 or the A6 from now on. But I covered it with mirror board. Then I cut this piece from here. Now that left an awful lot at the top here. So what I did instead is I cut it so that it's a little bit narrower here, and then I took one of those wonderful borders and I fit it right up in underneath, raising those kittens more towards the center of my card and sending warm thoughts. Didn't that turn out cute? I love that one. Love those kittens. I love this card too. This has just such a warm vintage feel to it. I thought it was really, really pretty. Now, in this case, I'm using this image off my image sheet. I used this piece. You don't have to use them like they give them to you. They gave it to me like this, and I thought it would look really good to put that on the side. So I used an A6 card. I covered it in that deep blue paper again. Then I cut this piece slightly smaller to allow a nice, actually it's almost a 1/2 inch border here. A 1/4 inch border is usually sufficient though. So I cut my next piece slightly smaller. Then I used this topper right on top of that page just as it was written. I just like the way that border complemented this image. And both this and this are up on foam squares. It's very simply done card, but I think it's stunning. I really like it. Inside, I put a matching piece of the insert paper and another one of those tiny images. I just love the way, I like having the little surprise of having another full color image inside. This one is another one that's done on one of those 2-piece frames. I'm using a European A6 card. Now in this case I've taken another piece of my cardstock, and I actually matted that on a piece of gold mirror board. I wanted that extra gold there to just kind of set this piece off from the green. And I like the way that plays together now. This time I put the border to the outside of my card, to the opening side. I split that frame. This was already foiled on the outside of this piece. So I split that frame. I glued this one down flush. I put this one up on some foam squares. I put this up on some foam squares, and I think it just looks beautiful. Inside, once again, I used the complimentary insert paper, and I used another one of those little full color images. So one topper set, we got a total of 5 cards from that set. Okay, let's move on. Go ahead. I've said this before, but I absolutely love the art in this kit. Look at the expressions on these cats' faces. If you're a cat lover, you know what I'm talking about. This just kind of smug, yes, I know I'm beautiful look that we so often get from our cats. And this, what, me? You think I did it? It's just, the imagery is just spectacular, and the expressions on these cats' faces. This one's called Just For You, F-U-R-U. And we've got a nice little Just For You border here. A little floral border with love and best wishes. I love this. A house is not a home without a cat. Happy birthday. So we've got lots of nice imagery here to work with. So this is the one we call our topper sheet. Here's that cat again. What, me? Just so funny. And here's our smug kitty again. And this beautiful foiling on the side of this sheet. We can always do some fun things with the foiling. So let's see what we did with them. Okay. Let's start out with the What Me Kitty. In this case, I've taken this piece of cardstock, and I've actually used both borders. So I've taken a 5x7 card, I've covered it with gold mirror board. By the way, the 7x7 mirror board is so nice to use with these 5x7 cards because you have very little waste. And then when you trim off that 2 inches, save that 2 inches for cutting some of your greetings, or run it through an embossing folder, and you can use that pretty embossed ribbon on some of your cards. So you can use every inch of that mirror board. Anyway, back to this card. I wanted, because it was a fairly wide card, I wanted more to happen than just to have all of this cream color showing. So what I did is I cut this piece slightly shorter, and then I brought this area here over. And then, remember when I told you don't throw out those scrap pieces? This piece right here, I took from right here between these 2 borders. See that? This is intended to be a throwaway piece, but look at that beautiful piece with both those pieces of foiling on there and just a little bit of complementary color between them. That's perfect. No pun intended. And here's that little border used right here to join those papers up. Then I just mounted my topper, which is what you call this focal piece, up on some foam squares and put a little birthday cuddles circle here, and I just thought he was perfect just that way. It just didn't need anything else. Inside, we've got the complimentary insert paper, and you'll notice well, you won't notice unless I tell you, but I did the same thing inside. I cut my insert paper, then I cut the border off that would have been up here, and I slid it in on this side. You only know I did that if you run your finger across it and you can feel the joint, but otherwise you can't tell I did it. But it gives me a perfect match to the outside of my card. I had this left, so I thought I might as well use it. And I put the happy birthday up here, and the little complimentary mini image on the inside. Okay, next up, here's a card that I did using that card deco die I told you about. I put my die on top of my blue adorable scorable. I ran it through my machine, and it's already scored and everything to make this beautiful folded and unusual card. Now, can you imagine the amount of time it would take you to cut that? I don't know about you, but I probably never would have a postage stamp kind of an edge like that if I had to cut that by hand. It just wouldn't happen. And if you wanted to buy that card, it'd be really expensive. But that card deco die, you can make hundreds of cards from that one die and just keep using it over and over and over again. So that was a good investment, and it's not terribly expensive. Those card deco dies are around about $15, so it's really a nice investment to have in that. So I cut my blue card. I wanted to have another little bit of color because this had so many beautiful tans in it that I used that Just For You border along here just to kind of bring that back in, and that gave me the perfect amount of space for, again, no pun intended, for my kitty image. This again was a 3-piece frame set, so I do this so often. I raise the outer piece, I take that center piece and I glued it flush to my card, and I put foam squares under the center piece just to give it a little bit of added dimension. In this case, I took a few little stickers off my cards in the window kit and just put some little stickers in the corners just for fun. Didn't need it, but I thought it was a fun touch, so I did it. Here's the inside. Now, because I made a lot of cards from this kit, I ran out of matching insert paper, but I had a little bit of, I had some paper left from my A4 paper pack, so I just took a matching piece of paper. I took a little cream colored piece of adorable scorable I had left here, used one of those cat in the window stickers, and the little From Meow to You. This is all off that sticker sheet. I just thought it was just such a fun addition, and just a nice way to treat the inside of the card and still leave me room to write a sizable greeting if I want to. But it was just fun. I was playing. You should play when you make cards. It's a good thing. Here's that same kitty. This time he came off of here. So I've taken my A6, my European A6, covered it with gold mirror board. I think the gold mirror board is just such a rich addition to these. You'll notice I have not highly embellished these cards. They have very intricate imagery and these just sassy kitties, and they just don't need a lot of extra embellishment, but I do think the mirror board really just makes them jump, just makes them pop. So I covered my A6 card with my gold Mary. I cut this piece slightly smaller than the dimensions, so I'd have a 1/4 inch border all the way around. I put this up on foam squares. Didn't do anything else to the outside. On the inside, I have my matching image. Now, isn't that nice? Look at that. That's beautiful when you can match the image on the inside with the outside of the card. It just adds such an element of class. Next up, I have this one, which I actually took this piece of cardstock from it was left over from one of the other sets. We'll run across it perhaps, or it may have even been in part 1, but I had this piece of cardstock left and it had this wonderful bow. I just cut the bow out. It was like down here. I cut the bow out and moved it up so that I could have a dimensional bow at the top here, added my topper on some foam squares. That's all I did. And then I just put a kind of nondescript piece of insert paper on the inside to write on. But I think it turned out beautiful. Next up, this one I played with a little bit. Okay, we started with an A6, European A6 card. I added a piece of paper from my insert pack. That's where this piece came from. or not from my insert, from that Paws for Thought paper pack. We still have those. At the time of this video, we have a few of those left in the store. Then I took this piece here, is just that same dark blue. Yeah, it may, no, it's not. This is on the paper pack. It's actually the back of this sheet. I took this piece and I put just I matted it with just a super fine matte of that gold. I like the way that just kind of plays together when you get that extra little border of gold in there. I used my border piece off of my topper sheet up here. I used my happy birthday in the center and I popped that up on some foam tape. Now this right here is a piece, it happened to actually, the honest truth is this is a piece I had left over from making another kit, and it was just sitting there on my craft table, and I thought I should be able to use that with one of those smaller toppers. It's cut out of kind of charcoal gray glitter cardstock. Let's see, which one did I use? I used this one. Yeah, I used this die to cut this piece out of some kind of charcoal gray glittered cardstock. And then I put the gold behind it, and it just jumped. And then I put that topper in the center, and I absolutely love the way that works together. So, just fun. I was playing. Playing's good. Little matching insert paper on the inside. Done. Okay, that's it for that one. This time we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards from that topper set. This next one is an amazing set. Oh my gosh. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 toppers on that sheet, with each of them has cute little greetings in it. Relax, it's your birthday. People who love cats are some of the biggest hearts around. To a special friend. All you need is love and a cat. And then we have these little greetings with love on your birthday, especially for you, thinking of you. Thank you for FUR, everything. So we got all these beautiful toppers. You get this all over sheet of absolutely gorgeous foiled card. You get the cute little kittens playing on the table where you know they're not supposed to be. And this wonderful all over background. Let's see what we did with these. Okay. That is an awful lot of toppers from one set. And so when I see a lot of toppers in this size, the very first thing I think of is a twist and pop card. So Brittany and I made this twist and pop. She may have made this on her own, I'm not sure, but one of us made it. I don't remember which one, it doesn't matter. To make this, we have used the Hunkydory twist and pop card base. We changed the color of that entire base using our gilding polish. If you want to see how to do this and the full assembly of this card, we have a complete video out there using and making the twist and pop and changing the color with the gilding polish. So be sure you check that out if you're interested in doing this. Then we cut ourselves, after we assembled the base part of the card, we cut ourselves a piece out of the paper pack, the A4 paper pack, and that's what you see here. We cut another piece of cardstock and we gilded it with that gilding polish and inserted in here a piece of that lovely velveteen paper. We used a happy birthday greeting from, I believe this one is, it's one of the clear greetings, and it's one of the etched ones that says happy birthday on it. And you can actually see the green through. That's the beauty of those etched stickers that are on the clear backgrounds. You can actually see the background paper through that, and that's gorgeous. So we've got happy birthday to a special friend. We did not put this up on foam squares because we wanted to be able to slide our, whoops, our cigar band over that to hold our card closed. And when you open it up, here's some more of our kitty pictures. The people who love cats, the sleeping kitten, relax, it's your birthday, and that sweet little kitten here fit perfectly in the squares to that pop-up card. And then we lined it with that same liner paper from our paper pack, the Paws for Thought paper pack. Isn't that splendid? I absolutely adore this card. Now this looks like it would be so difficult to make, and it's just not. It's not difficult at all. If you watch my video, I will walk you through step by step on how to complete that card. From gilding polish clear through to the assembly of the card, and it's not that difficult, and you get such a terrific effect. And again, it's a perfect way to use a topper set that has quite a number of smaller pieces like this one. It's just made to do this technique. So gorgeous card. Love, love, love this one. Next up, Brittany used that smaller tattered lace center step card frame from Tattered Lace. Let me show you the actual die. This is the die she used to do that. These are very well adhered to these background sheets. This is the die she used. She simply put it on a piece of adorable scoreable, face down, ran it through her machine. It cut all the channels where the channels needed to be cut, and it scored all the pieces that it needed to be scored. So when you take it out of the machine, it looks like this. And then when you fold it this way, you fold these down, fold it from here, fold it from here, and you get that beautiful center step card. And it just, again, this Tattered Lace die just cuts through that 350 GSM cardstock like anybody's business. It's perfect. And you can make that way. You can make your card base any color of the rainbow, any color of adorable scoreable that you have. Now in this one, she simply used that topper, which she has split in two pieces because the frame and the little image were two separate pieces. So she put the center up on some foamed squares. She put her little black happy birthday here, three, I think we're missing a rhinestone here, but some rhinestones. And then she used a border piece off that romantic sticker sheet, scrapbooking sticker sheet, and put these lovely little rhinestones right in the border sticker. Isn't that just wonderful? And this particular card, she just, instead of spending a lot of time working on it, she just put a piece of liner paper across here, skipping that little extra piece up above there. I think that looks fine. If you wanted to notch it out, you certainly could, but you don't have to. But I love, love, love this card. How elegant looking is that? And it was so very simple. If you have the right tools, you can just go to town. Next up, sometimes the challenge of using those little toppers is making the little toppers big enough to carry a card. And that's what we've done in this one. In this one, we've taken, this is actually a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card. And she has put the little topper on a complementary color cardstock. She happened to have used a little piece of this. Oops, she went this way with it. But she used a piece from up here. Put her topper on this side. Put that whole thing on some mirror board. So it's just building this topper with this piece and then this piece, everything complementing one another, and you take that little topper and you just make it big enough to carry a card. Put her little especially for you down here. Covered this card with that beautiful all over design. It's actually a very, very simple card, but isn't it beautiful when she gets it done? And you don't even notice that it's really a little topper on a bigger card because of the way we build and build and build to make that topper a bigger piece. Lined it with her matching insert paper. With love from your forever friend. Gorgeous. Next up, we have these little kitties. Now these little kitties are a little bit challenging in and of themselves because look how big the actual pattern is. So we kind of had to treat that like a small topper too. And Brittany's done that by taking that little corner piece. This happens to have been a die that was returned by an Amazon customer that claimed it didn't cut, so they sent it back to us. Sometimes people's cutting plates get worn and they don't really fully understand about shimming, so they send the dies back thinking there's something wrong with them. We put it through our machine, very first pass, we cut this beautiful piece. So if you're ever having a problem getting a die to cut, call me. Let's talk about how to get that die to work for you. Because in all the dies, and I've sold thousands of them at this point, I'm sure, in the thousands of dies I've ever sold, I've only ever run across one die set. It was the entire run was defective. And we pointed that out to the manufacturer and they pulled them back. But in all this time, I've only ever run into one truly defective die. If you're having problems cutting it, there's a multitude of things we can do to help you get an effective cut. Call me. Don't assume something's wrong with the die because we can get it working for you. But this is that die. So it was sitting here on the table and we used it. It was a nice way to take that little tiny topper, spread it, and then put a map behind that, which takes that little image and makes it bigger. So then we put this map piece on a card that had been covered with that all over pattern. And again, you notice the kittens, you don't notice that it's a little tiny topper. Isn't that cute? And so effective. Matching insert paper, cute. Here's our next one. This time what we've done to make that little topper bigger, this is actually a 5 by 6.5 card. So this little topper's carrying a big card, but Brittany has taken that little topper. She has matted that on this beautiful wine color, adorable scoreable. She put behind that this wonderful leaf cutting die from Diversions. Again, if you want one of those, don't wait too long. We have some of, I believe we have the last of them that they had. But, and that beautiful soft vintage green, it just played so well with that burgundy. She put that on a piece of the wine color adorable scoreable. And she put that on her card that had been covered with Gold Mary. So again, we're taking that little topper and we're building it out. We're actually making that small topper carry a big card. And I think it's beautiful. All you need is love and a cat. Thank you for everything. And she's lined it with a complimentary piece of insert paper. Gorgeous. And that's it for this set. Another cute topper set here. This one's called Time Spent With You Is Never Wasted. And we've got quite a number of images once again on this one topper sheet. We've got Time Spent With You Is Never Wasted. We've got this cute little two-piece frame, sending birthday wishes to a special friend. We've got this long, narrow piece here. We've got Today I Caught Myself Smiling for No Reason, then I realized I was thinking about you. I love that one. Look at this little Weisenheimer. He just looks like he's waiting to pounce. Set with love today, tomorrow, and always. Beautiful borders, nice edge pieces to use. Here's a complimentary piece of cardstock. Here's those little frisky kittens again, and a beautiful border. Let's see what we did with it. Okay, this one I just made a little card. I used a piece of leftover cardstock because I had quite a few cards here. I used a leftover piece of cardstock, a little piece of that border, and this little topper up on some foam squares on a 4x4 card with a little bit of matching insert paper. I just think it's cute. Sometimes you just want a little gift enclosure or a smaller card. So that's that one. Here's another small one because this topper was tiny. Now what I've done to make this one a little bit bigger, because this is a tiny topper again, I've covered it with, I've taken a 4x4 card, I covered it with this paper, I split my frame, I glued this one on an angle, and I put foam squares behind this to lift it up, and you just end up having a really nice, interesting effect without a lot of extra pieces. There's my kittens playing inside. Cute. Two little 4x4 cards. This one, I wanted to find some way to, I mean, this is kind of challenging when they give you such a long, narrow piece like that. So I took my my European A6, covered it with Mary, made this slightly smaller, and then I ran a piece of ribbon around the card, tucked my ends in behind my topper, and I just think that's all it needed to use up that extra space, and I think it turned out really, really cute. For those who might be wondering about tying that bow, check out our bow maker video. You too can be tying beautiful, nice symmetrical bows in no time using the bow maker from Embellishment Attic. Check out our video. Complimentary insert paper, done. Here's another one where I've had to find some ways to, this card commanded a 5x7 because the topper was so long, but it was challenging because this is a narrow piece and it had to be on a big card. So what I've done with this one is I took my 5x7 card, I covered it with gold mirror board, I cut this piece slightly smaller, I put my topper up on some foam squares and put it a third of the way down the card. I put my To a Special Friend, and then I put some pretty flourishes off of that butterfly sheet off to either side to add interest and make the card bigger, to carry off that bigger card. Inside, I only had a little piece of insert paper left, and I needed something to fill this large space, so I put my insert on mirror board and put a little extra border that I had left, and I thought that turned out really cute. So sparkles inside and out. Our next one, I love this saying that today I caught myself smiling for no reason, and then I realized I was thinking about you. I wanted the sentiment to just kind of carry the day with that one because I just thought it was beautiful. So I took my European A6, I covered it with this, had a little piece of that border left, I put the border at the top, I split my frame, glued the outside frame flush to my card, put the inside up on some foam squares, and didn't touch it otherwise because I really wanted the sentiment to carry that one. Inside, I had this left, so I put it here, sent with love today, tomorrow, and always, on that complimentary insert paper. Done. Now, Brittany did this card, and I adore it. I think it's beautiful. I had it in the sleeve because we had it up in our classroom. She's covered her 5x7 card with a piece of that wine-colored, adorable scoreable. This cream color she's taken, and she has used one of our ornaire stencils, and she's pierced this pattern into her card using a piercing tool that stencil, and she did it all on we happen to have used a stamping mat. You can actually, and I have those available, an embossing or stamping mat, but you can also use a mouse pad to do that, just to protect your work surface. And you just take the little needle tool and pierce through the holes in the stencil. It seems like it would be very time consuming. It's not terribly time consuming, and look at the beautiful lacy look you get. And it was a perfect way to take that small topper and again carry a larger card with it. Isn't that beautiful? Just added her sending birthday wishes. It didn't need anymore, didn't want it anymore. Gorgeous. That's it for these card samples. Next I want to show you what we've done with the little book. All the following cards were made using the Paws for Thought little book. Again, you get 24 images and you get 6 of each image. I just, for illustration purposes, went through and quickly made, in fact, in an evening, I made all 22 of the cards I'm going to show you, just using 4x6 and 5x7 cards. In some cases, I've used a little mirror board, and that's it. I've used the contents of this pack and some mirror board. Let's see what we did. And I'm just going to go through these quickly. This was perfectly suited to cut down to as A6. Here's one I did on a 5x7 using our background papers and the tag right out of the kit. Again, background papers out of that paper pack, mirror board, the topper, and the sentiment right out of the kit. Cute, cute, cute. I'll give you a little less commentary. We need to get finished before our battery runs out. Here's my little book page. Separated it from a busy background with that mirror board. It was a great way to use up my leftover pieces of cardstock. Just a little sentiment right out of the book. This one I didn't even use background paper. I just mounted him right on my mirror board. This was a piece of frame we had left over from a different topper. This one I just used, instead of mirror board, I used cream cardstock. This one I've embellished with a little bit of sticker sheet I had here. Sending best birthday wishes. I separated him from his background by mounting that on mirror board. This is perfectly sized already for an A6 card. It's simple, it's adorable. Again, I put my little book page on just a bit of mirror board. Here's my little book page on mirror board. I've covered my card with the paper pack paper. This matching paper came right out of the paper pack. Again, I've just used cream color cardstock behind it. Who, me? I love that cat. He's funny. There's sleepy kittens. Enjoy your special day. Wouldn't any cat lover love to get these? And they're so economical to make. 144 of these images in the book for about $15. Background paper from the paper pack. Little book page, sentiment right out of the book. This one I didn't even cover with, because I thought the cream color card was a perfect match to the image. The papers right out of the papers pack. And there's my little A6 card. This time I put my sentiment itself on some mirror board and cut it out. Okay, this has been Paws for Thought, Part 2. Be sure you watch Part 1 if you haven't done that yet. Brittany has some great creations in Part 1 of Paws for Thought. If you enjoyed this video and would like to be notified when new videos come out, please sign up for our email. You can do so at www.simplyspecialcrafts.com. Just scroll to the bottom of the page and you'll see a little place to add your name and your email address. If you like these videos, also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Debbie, and we'll see you next time.